That's what I thought. Anyway, we got first place locals deck profile: ABC, Therion, Revolution, Kashtira, Fiendsmith, Horus.
I was gonna
Sixth deck
say,
pile.
is that everything?
This deck is a hell of a lot of fun, and it has a lot of combo potential. And pretty much any hand can turn into Fiendsmith combo, which was the idea that even if I draw an awkward combination of pieces, I can play and make at least that. So for ABC pieces, 2A, 3B, 2C. I often side out a B just to help with extra cards for going second. And then the Union driver. I'm playing 50, so there's less chance to draw this. So it's not a big deal to play one. And plus, with the Horus field spell, you can put it back if you draw it. 2 Rev Synchron. Only 2 because I'm playing 3 tuning that you'll see later. Honestly, I wish it was the other way around, but I only own 2 Revolution Synchrons. Honestly, the best cards in the deck today were the Imsety, Duamutef, Happy Boy. These cards were fantastic all day, and it is kind of ridiculous how good they are.
You don't play Queef?
And I do not play the Queef.
Checks.
I am after a minute. 2 Regulus. There's a really funny interactions with Regulus where if you play tuning and mill a card and you hit a piece, you can use this as an extender and you can start your Fiendsmith combos, or you can start with Platinum Gadget depending on the rest of your hand. So Regulus is both a negate for your end board if you don't need to use it for anything like link climbing, but it is 2 bodies, which is really nice. 1 Lacrima, 1 Engraver is all you need for the package. I did draw this guy a lot today, but that's fine. You can use Requiem to summon from hand. 3 Fenrir. This is just another way to get to Fiendsmith combo, but also just puts extra hand bodies on field and cards in hand for the Horus cards because it is pretty costly, and that's why I'm playing Giant Trainer too. So with Fenrir and Giant Trainer, you replenish your hand entirely while having bodies on the field for your link monsters. For the monster hand traps, I know a lot of people are going to be upset because this deck is pretty budget, except for these. You do have to play these 6, in my opinion. Just the fact that you can't really play going second at all unless you just have a ton of your engine makes these just a necessity. And in 50 cards, you just need to draw. There's also interactions that came up where you just summon a Chummy and then you use Revolution Synchron to make Ancient Fairy there. So that made them just really good altogether. Obviously, Fuwalos is insane. Purulia kind of sucks, but like I said, you just kind of need to draw cards. And then 3 Ash for other people's Mulcharmies. If they didn't exist, I wouldn't play this in the deck. I'd probably just play Pure Breaker. For the spell cards, this is going to look a lot like a Vanadium deck here, where we got 3 Union Hangar. This is the only one you play 3 of, because this is the most important one. Walls of the Imperial Tomb, I'd probably play 2 if I had to. Just didn't have to. Discolosseum, Wraitsoth, Check a Game, just as a random field spell that you can get, or a random field spell you can open and just get an extra card. I decided to play 1 going second field spell, which was Way Where There's a Will. I got to do this for 7 today, so that was pretty neat. But these are all the field spells and then the Terraforming. Like I said, I probably would try to find a way to play 2 of this one. And if this comes back to 2 or 3, I'll probably play more Check a Game too, since it's not once per turn. 3 tuning to get to Revolution Synchron. Earlier today, I think it was round 1, I activated tuning and added Rev, and then hit B off of the mill, and then use Regulus to summon itself, and then put B, and then it's got the combo because I hit a random mill. So that was really cool and skillful. 2 King Sark, not 3 because it's a brick. You can't really afford to just draw this and no Horus and just pitch 3 cards. Called by further Charmies. 3 Imperm, and then Azurune. This really doesn't come up very often because in a realistic world you're getting hand trapped, but in the Christmas land that exists, you can end with this on all the other cards, like with IP and stuff. So that's the main 50 cards. Extra deck, 3 Buster Dragon. Definitely do not need 3 of this. I would cut this down to 2 and play an extra link, an extra utility link. I missed it all day. They've got probably even like a second SP or something now that it's about to be $2. Ancient Fairy Crystal Wing. These cards are broken. Like getting to basically have 3 searches and then protect your combo afterwards. Photon Lord and Giant Trainer. I summoned this once, and it was the turn after I got to Mulcharmy for 12 cards. So that was sick. And then this card is the card that you play when you get interrupted. The links that aren't Fiendsmith related, I summoned only these 2. This only comes up for the Regulus interaction that I mentioned earlier. And that's all it's there for. IP is like when you open the nut board and then don't get interacted with, but that's not realistic. So I might try Goddess, the Link 5 in here, or access code over another Buster Dragon. But and then the Fiendsmith fun cards. We're just playing it for the double Omni Negate. We're not playing it for anything else. So this is like the bare minimum you need to play. Then finally for the side, there's basically 2 halves of the side, a side for going first and a side for going second. And it's pretty clean cut on what the cutout and stuff. So for going second, we have 2 Pank. This complements Fenrir really well. Dark Ruler evenly. You can kill, so maybe you want to play Droplet, but like with the King Sark deck, it just feels really rough to facilitate Droplet and not just have no cards in hand afterwards. And then evenly is like the best card you can play just to like after you charm them and they have like a weaker board, you evenly it. For the going first, we have 2 talents, 1 draw, 1 nib, because these are the 2 cards that this deck dies to other than shifter, but I'm not playing the 1 shifter for cross out. If you really wanted to, if your deck has more of them going around, you could just replace this for that, but I decided just to play the second talents. It would be a thrust, but I sold them, so this should just be thrust here. And that's it for the deck profile. We'll be uploading more starting next week probably when I actually have a tripod again. Shout outs to Logan for loaning me the Horus cards. Shout out to Marshall for loaning me a Lacrima. Shout out to Zach for not realizing how Underworld Goddess worked. This is the only reason I won that game.
It was.
Thank you very much.
Straight up.
And that's it. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I thought about it afterwards. I was like,
Bow wow, yippee-oh, yippee-yay.
He's